You're gonna be okay, Milo.
Invasive and flammable grasses nearly destroyed the Hawaiian island of Maui. And now we're finding out some of those same grasses grow right here in Florida. That's why we're here at the Naples Botanical Garden to find out how experts are preventing those same problems from happening here.
I didn't know it was illegal to give panhandlers money. Like, I do it all the time.
This viral video shows a woman getting arrested after buying flowers from a street seller, but not all meets the eye. Tonight at 7, we investigate and get you more on why. Plus this.
Your most accurate meteorologists are tracking disturbances in the tropics.
It brings back the memories of before and after.
For many, storms could bring on anxiety. ABC 7's getting you more on how to stay calm and safe during hurricane season.
When your News at 7 starts in just 45 seconds.
Live from ABC 7, this is News at 7.
It's aggressive, grows fast, and is highly flammable. Experts say invasive grass fueled the fires raging tonight on Maui and Hawaii. Officials are still trying to figure out how the fire started, but point to high winds and also this video right here of downed power lines as reasons why that it spread so quickly. But residents are still trying to figure out how that fire then spread over to the town of Lahaina.
It seems like a nightmare that we're trying to wake up from.
Over 100 lives are already lost and hundreds more are still missing. Officials fear the death toll will continue to rise. But Hawaii isn't the only place in the U.S. where these invasive non-native grasses have taken root. And it's your big story tonight at 7. I'm Jeff Harris.
And I'm Megan Miller. We have told you that Florida is full of invasive species, so we wanted to know, are those same grasses here in Florida? When experts confirmed they are, we started to question, could what happened in Maui happen here in Florida?
So we showed you over the past week several fires that sparked across our area. And in tonight's cover story, ABC 7's Alex Howard is getting you more from fire officials here locally on how they're fighting these invasive grasses here in Southwest Florida.
And if we don't see fire on those landscapes, fuel loads increase to the point where you can end up with really dangerous wildfires that can burn through very large areas of land, and they burn very hot, and that puts our communities at risk.
More than half a world away, FGCU plant ecologist Brian Bovard watched the fires that consumed Lahaina on the island of Maui with horror, knowing all too well the cost of wildfires.
And we can see ourselves in the exact same situation that the people in Maui have found themselves in. And it's not just Maui, right? We've seen it in Canada all summer long. So it's happening worldwide.
But as more info about the devastating fire comes from Hawaii, a major contributing factor has come to light: invasive grasses, some of which grow here in Florida as well.
We get a lot of African grasses and grasses from Southeast Asia that those landscapes historically have burned as well.
Bovard explained it was dry invasive grasses like buffle and molasses grass that created a brush fire that later spread into town, something that even here in Florida can be difficult to manage.
Guinea grass is another big one. Yeah, and I think some of the fountain grass species as well. Yeah, all of those plants, they originate from landscapes where fire has historically been part of their adaptive history. Because they're invasive, oftentimes in small pockets, I think they're a challenge to manage, and there are budgetary limitations to a lot of our land managers to actually be able to go out and control them.
That's not to say it's not under control, though. Here in Florida, land managers like Eric Fote at the Naples Botanical Gardens have embraced prescribed burns to consume fuel and avoid tragedy.
Because of development, these areas are cut off from lightning-caused wildfires unless if they strike exactly within your preserve. So as land managers, we know prescribed burning is one of the best things we can do. Anytime an area is burned like this, all that fuel is gone. So if a lightning strike happened in this preserve tonight, there's nothing for it to burn. There would be no wildfire because all the fuel has been burned up.
And while prescribed burn here might still produce some annoying smoke for neighbors, it can make a difference of life or death in the long run.
I would rather, as a citizen of Southwest Florida, I would rather live with smoke for a day than the threat of losing my family or my neighbor's family in my community.
Reporting in Naples, Alex Howard, ABC 7.
Officials in Hawaii were aware of the danger. A 2019 report noted the potential for invasive grasses to fuel fires. Now, according to a 2019 study, 6 invasive grass species cause fires to spark more frequently by 150% across the United States. In fact, California's 2018 Camp Fire, which is now the second deadliest fire in modern U.S. history, was also fueled by invasive grasses. 80 people died after a power line ignited dry grass. California fire officials are reducing the impact of fires on communities. Firefighters use fuel breaks, which is a strip of land that's cleared to act as a barrier to stop or even slow down the spread of a fire.
And here in Southwest Florida, firefighters use several methods to keep you safe. Alex mentioned one of them, the prescribed burns. But during the Big Cypress fire this April, they used another method, fire lines. Similar to fuel breaks, fire lines help contain the fire in sections. Teams on tractors dug out ditches in the woods to section off the fire. In total, that fire burned more than 10,000 acres before firefighters were able to put it out.
And we're tracking the tropics here on ABC7 because we're getting to the busy time of the year. We actually have 4 things to talk about and 1 myth out there. So let's go ahead and talk about it. The first one is the area that's closest to us. It's the back edge of some tropical moisture. A tropical wave out here. Out ahead of it is some of the rain that we're dealing with and will deal with again tomorrow. After all that floats into the Gulf of Mexico, there's a medium chance in the central or western Gulf of Mexico of that developing into a tropical depression or a tropical storm. The next thing on the board is a little bit deeper into the Atlantic. It's also a tropical wave. This is less than 24 hours old, but it has a low chance of developing over the next 7 days. This area right in here where you see the reds, some thunderstorms starting to blow up there, that's got a medium chance of developing. And then this is the one that's most likely going to take the name Emily within the next day or so. It's got a high chance of developing over the next 7 days. All of these systems are not named right now. We don't even have a tropical depression. But on the internet, on social media, you've seen this, I'm sure, at least some point today. This is the GFS forecast model. This is a forecast for 10 days from today. And after the GFS goes out 7 days, it gets kind of crazy. So people are posting this, bringing a storm to Southwest Florida. I'm going to tell you right now, the next run of this model, which is already starting to come in, has this storm way over here. So anybody that's hyping this garbage output this far out does not deserve your follow on social media. So that's one of the myths that's out there. We're not going to have a storm this far out. It's too early to tell. I'm telling the next model, watch this at 11. The next model run is going to have that thing out in the Atlantic, and I'll show that to you. It's just coming in right now, so when we get it all in, we'll be able to show it to you on our newscast tonight at 11 o'clock.
I didn't. It was illegal to give panhandlers money. Like, I do it all the time.
But it is not allowed in Lee County. Lee County deputies arrested a woman for selling flowers in the middle of Imperial Parkway and Bonita Beach Road. It happened Wednesday. But Norma Garcia was not the only one who got arrested.
This woman was as well. Lee County Sheriff's Office says she tried to buy flowers from the street seller, but instead ended up in handcuffs. It was all caught on camera as well. Our team noticed this video picking up steam on social media with over 1.5 million views. So we sent ABC7's Sarah Metz to speak with the woman in that viral video. She's getting you more tonight on why deputies say she went about it in the wrong way.
On Wednesday, not 1, but 2 people were arrested on Bonita Beach Road and Imperial Parkway. One panhandler and the other, Anika Olsen.
I didn't. It was illegal to give panhandlers money. Like, I do it all the time. I just try to give. Like, if I have cash in my car, like, I always try to, like, I feel bad if I don't. I'll think about it for the rest of the day.
Technically, it's not, but deputies say it's how Olsen tried to do so that is.
So I rolled down the window and I tried to give her the money, but she just looked really scared and the light turned green. So I was like, let me just do a U-turn.
Deputies say Olsen was trying to give Norma Garcia cash while they were arresting her for standing in the median selling flowers.
And I saw there were police near her. I did not understand that she was being arrested.
But they both ended up in handcuffs on Wednesday. Garcia for dangerous use of rights of way, Olsen for resisting arrest and refusing to comply with officers.
It's I had no idea that panhandling was illegal. I mean, people do it all the time. And I understand that it's dangerous. dangerous for them. But if someone's putting themselves in that dangerous situation in this summer heat, like obviously they're doing it out of like desperation. They're not there because they want to be there.
A different driver, one just passing by, recorded Olsen's arrest. 1.5 million views later, and it's viral on TikTok.
And not only is it captured, but it's also now being seen by 1.5 million people.
Yeah. And it's also opening it up for public comment. Like a lot of people that have no idea the situation and have their own opinions on things are commenting really crazy things. And I never even like intended for anything that I just wanted to give someone $20 because they were having a bad day.
The Lee County Sheriff's Office addressed the viral video on social media, saying Olsen's car was blocking traffic. They tried asking her to move it. She approached deputies and ultimately interfered with Garcia's arrest.
They said in their thing that Miss Olsen's vehicle parked in the roadway, blocked the traffic lane, and created a safety hazard. They asked for my ID, like I had to stop.
The sheriff's office also added to their post, when education fails to ensure the safety of our residents, arrest follow.
I'm just like trying to just do everything I can moving forward to just move forward with it. And we're getting a lawyer, so.
Reporting from Bonita Springs, Sarah Metz, ABC 7.
Getting you more tonight, panhandlers are popping up across Southwest Florida. On Tuesday, ABC 7 told you about men we spotted selling fruit on 6 Mile Cypress Parkway, that is, and Colonial Boulevard. Shortly afterward, they were run off by police.
It's dangerous, you know. I see people buy them all the time.
It is a direct violation of Lee County's rights-of-way ordinance, which limits where pedestrians can stand in the street. You can be fined for doing that. Similar laws are in place in Collier and Charlotte counties.
I've lived in Florida 35 years. I've only lived through 2.
Hurricane season is here and the tropics are heating up. Next at 7, we're getting you more on how to calm your storm stress.
And breaking news about a beloved killer whale kept in captivity for decades. We get you more on what happened to Lolita next at 7.
I won't ever stay in during another hurricane.
We are not even 3 months into hurricane season and the tropics are heating up. And so is our storm anxiety as we still work hard to recover from Hurricane Ian.
The financial losses from the storm top over $1 billion, but the emotional toll it's taken on Southwest Florida can't be measured. In tonight's cover story, ABC 7's Samantha Romero spoke with experts and gets you more tonight on the resources that can help.
Hurricane season can trigger some bad memories after Hurricane Ian, and even the thought of some storms brewing out in the tropics can bring back that anxiety. I talked to a mental health nurse practitioner who says there are actually resources out there to help you.
It's all around us right now.
All around us are signs of what we went through last September. Some Fort Myers Beach residents say they'll never ride out a major hurricane again.
I've lived in Florida 35 years. I've only lived through 2. I've been away, and I definitely plan on being away.
And now, as we near the statistical peak of hurricane season, we're facing yet another potential threat. There are 4 areas of interest in the tropics. One is near the southern Bahamas. It could move into the western Gulf next week. Melissa Bogle, a psychiatric nurse practitioner, says the thought of another storm could be a trigger for some.
It's understandable to have this anxiety, but that we can work together to try to get you some help.
If you need resources, we have a link for you on our website. That's abc-7.com and click Get More. Samantha Romero, ABC 7.
And let's get you more tonight. Studies show that survivors of life-changing natural disasters are more likely to develop anxiety, depression, and PTSD. But there are some no-cost ways to help manage it, like avoiding caffeine, alcohol, and tobacco products. Make sure you're sleeping enough and eating a balanced diet. Experts also suggest talking with others with similar experiences as you, whether it's in therapy or with friends.
To some breaking news right now at 7, the Miami Seaquarium announced that Lolita, the killer orca, has died after 5 decades in captivity. In a social media post, the company said Lolita got sick last week. Her medical team began treating her immediately and also aggressively. They say she passed away last Friday from kidney disease. For years, animal rights advocates have pushed for the orca to be released back into the wild. This March, officials announced plans to finally make that happen. The Seaquarium hoped to release her in the next 18 to 24 months. Lolita was believed to be 57 years old and was the oldest killer whale living in captivity.
Now, the ABC 7 forecast. Your most accurate forecast.
And our ABC 7 live radar continues to do a little bit of work out there this evening. A lot of us, though, are dry. We've got a mostly cloudy sky, but not a whole lot of rain dropping around the area, at least right now. Our temperature is 87 right now. And you can see a little bit of the rain just south of our radar site, but when you take a look at the entire area, it's not a lot of rain. In fact, the little bit of rain that is in Lee County right now, you can't even really see on the wide view. So let's go ahead and fly back down in. So this is south of Colonial Boulevard all the way down almost to Alico Road. Some of the heaviest of the rain falling right now is right here over US 41. and Daniels Parkway, Cypress Lake Drive. So this is back kind of towards FSW and University Grill and that area. All the way south, this is 6 Mile Cypress. And so this will be around Lowe's down here, Home Depot, Bahama Breeze, that area getting some rain. The heaviest of the rain is just west of US 41. And then all the way down to Alico Road, it starts to dry up. This is US 41. And this is Metro Parkway. So Metro is actually dry. US 41 is getting wet, and then the heavier rain is just a little bit west of there. And it's not moving a whole lot. This has been sitting here over about the past 30 to 45 minutes. We were tracking it on our newscast at 6 o'clock as well. There's not a lot of steering wind. Watch where this goes. It's going to want to come off to the west just a little bit, but notice how it doesn't move much. It's spreading out of anything. So as that weakens, that's going to pull down some of that moisture and some of that cooler air, the outflow boundary, and that spreads in all directions, and that's what the radar is picking up on. Also some light rain inland on the Glades-Hendry border that'll fade away as well because there's not a whole lot of wind to steer this around. Fort Myers River District right now is dry, albeit mostly cloudy, and the temperature there is 82, 75 the dew point, so it's still plenty muggy out there even though it's a little bit cool. East-southeasterly wind at 8 miles per hour. And this weekend, we're looking at temperatures in the low 90s. Seasonal, our average high temperature is 92, 91 on Sunday, so below average for a change. Overnight lows in the upper 70s. Pretty good rain chances both Saturday and Sunday because we have a lot of tropical moisture on top of us. Even though it's not raining right now and probably won't rain a whole lot overnight, we are going to see an early start to the rain on your Saturday. Here's 6 o'clock in the morning. It's partly to mostly cloudy. A couple of rain showers out in the Gulf of Mexico, but they're tracking west. As we get into noon, I'd say from Lake Okeechobee south, we'll have a chance for some showers that'll quickly spread off towards the urban corridor. And by 3 p.m., you can see some pretty big downpours around southwestern Hendry into northern Collier and southeastern Lee County. And that's going to continue to spread off towards the Gulf of Mexico. It'll work from east-southeast to west-northwest diagonally like that. But we'll get a break by 6 o'clock, and then more comes in for Saturday evening, but that's more so aimed for Charlotte and DeSoto County, and it'll be just scattered activity. Heading into Sunday and early next week, we'll have another chance for some decent rain with the edge of that tropical moisture rolling overhead, but that's going to congeal with a little area of low pressure here in the Bay of Campeche, and that's going to roll towards either South Texas or northern Mexico. And as that happens, our rain chance will actually go down, as you'll see here in the 7-day forecast. So 92 tomorrow, 91 on Sunday, and then it pops right back to near 95, especially by Tuesday and the rest of the week as those rain chances get back down to 30%. And that's your most accurate forecast from ABC 7.
One person was stabbed at a park in Fort Myers. What police say happened moments before the victim was speared.
And ABC 7 takes a deeper look into why a record number of sea turtles are going the wrong way, some dying on Fort Myers Beach. Both those stories at 11.
From basketball player to firefighter, all in the blink of an eye. Next at 7, how a teammate stepped up to save a man's life.
And right now it's time for your Bright Side block on your news at 7.
Every weeknight, we like to end our show with some good that's happening around the world.
It was very unnatural the way that he slumped over. So I raced over. I instructed one of the players to call 911 right away.
A New Jersey man is alive today thanks to a quick-thinking teammate on the basketball court who also happens to be a volunteer firefighter. He knew just what to do when the man collapsed and went into cardiac arrest. 40-year-old Cheng Yu Lee administered CPR and told someone to grab the AED defibrillator in the hallway. By the time Javier, the man who collapsed, was on the stretcher, he was conscious and alert. It's a great reminder that CPR training can and does save lives.
Caught on camera playing Ding Dong Ditch. Take a look at this gator walking up to a home in Cape Coral. This happened last night on Northwest 37th Place. And sure, it's something you don't really want to wake up to see on your Ring doorbell camera, but maybe they thought it was kind of cool as long as the gator minded its own business. Who knows?
Better than the snake that we saw at 6, JP. What would you have done if you saw the little 3-foot snake, I guess coiled, you know, up in the corner?
I would have gone to the Cape, got that alligator, put it next to the snake so the alligator could eat the snake and then run off.
That is a strategy.
I may or may not have thought about that before.
Yeah, you 100% did.
You just had to bring up the snake. JP hates snakes. If you're new here, you need to know.